Don't let your worries and fears dictate your actions. Think about it for a second. When you were a kid and you were doing most of the things that you were good at, like with my example of riding a bike, and it was, you were so natural at it, like any type of physical activity, you were so natural, you were so at ease, so free. And then when you get older, you're scared of these things. You're like, what if I crash into this? What if I do this? And then it's like, think about that. As a kid, you didn't even give a shit about these things. And that's exactly why you were so good at it. It's because you didn't care if you ran into someone. You didn't care if you did anything wrong because your idea of doing something wrong was different back then, right? Now it changed. Obviously, you're an adult now, but you have to think about it. What exactly is it that is making you afraid? And a lot of the times the answer is, oh, like it's social, I'll be embarrassed, it'll be awkward, I don't want to deal with this. And it's like all these things are in your head, right? Like none of these things are real. None of these things are real. These, oh, someone will look at me, they'll get secondhand embarrassment, oh, it'll be so cringe. It's other people. It's other people, right? And I'm not talking about like other people's safety. Of course, you're not supposed to run them over. What I mean is, if you are constantly worried about other people's thoughts and opinions of what they think this and what if I fall down and I land badly and these people start looking at me and shit like that, always when you're an adult, that holds you back. It stops you. And in that sense, your kid self was better. Your kid self never gave a shit. Your kid self never even thought about these people looking at you in any way, right? Now, that might come with naivety, right? Your kid self didn't know anything. Back then, you probably didn't even know anyone could look at you badly, right? But at the same time, it's like he was doing something right. He was having so much fun. He was good at whatever he was doing, and he was charming. A lot of people looked at him and liked looking at you. Of course, it has to do with you were a kid and you looked cute, now you're old and ugly, but that still doesn't really change much. It's still charm, nonetheless. If you are confident when you fall over, you laugh or whatever, if your attitude is different, you don't give a shit about what other people really look at you as or think about, if they judge you or not. Even if they do, you're not supposed to think about things like this. And it's hard to rewire your brain because you're already an adult, but you have to just accept that it doesn't matter. Like these people don't matter to you, right? And it should really stay that way. It's you. It's you and it's your bike. That's all that matters. It's you and it's your bike. And it's the thrill of it. You're like riding a bike. How fast can I go? There's a risk to it. It's dangerous. Life is dangerous. That's how it is. And you keep testing your limits, try to go faster, then you're like, "Oh shit, I can't hit the brakes." You mess up, you fall down, something happens. But at the same time, you can't be afraid of even starting your journey on the bike. You can't be afraid because if you are, you'll never go anywhere. You have to gas it. You have to pedal it. You have to let the bike do its thing. And then after the bike starts moving, then you can steer it. You can give it direction. You can slow it down. You can speed it up. Then you can do whatever you want with it. As long as you realize it's still a bike, you know, you can't just do a backflip on it. You can't do tricks on it while you're like upside down in the air, right? Well, regular people like you and me, not like Olympians or some shit. But that's the thing. You're not supposed to care about these stupid things. And a lot of things like hold me, you, a lot of people back from doing things they actually would have fun with. And I had trouble with this because I had a hard time really wrapping my head around what my dream is, like my dream job or my dream goal, or I want to do this, I want to do something. It's like, sure, those are pretty important, but at the same time, I like having fun when I live life. I like having fun in general, right? In different things. And so a lot of times when I'm miserable or I'm suffering or things like that, well, obviously I'm not having fun. And there's obviously something holding me back. And so that's why I'm trying to think about these things. Well, not think, but I'm slowly living it out. I'm slowly realizing that my mental is better and my head is clearer just because I know that these things are affecting me. These things that are affecting me are not real. These problems are around me, but these negative feelings, they're coming from within. And so that means I can fully control them. I can't control the things on the outside. But at the same time, I think these things on the outside don't matter. You matter. You're the only one who matters in this situation. You are the observer. You can control how you see all this shit. And so that's why you don't have to worry about it too much. At least that's what I tell myself every time there's something that I'm worried about, or I don't know, there's like a million thoughts that pop up in my head. And this is one of the things that brings clarity to me, that it doesn't matter. Like none of this shit, nobody. It's not supposed to, right? That's the thing. It's not supposed to. when you were happy, when you were having fun, when you were good at things. It's exactly when you couldn't care less about anyone else. That is when those things happened. As an adult, you're trying to grip life as hard as you can, hoping something will happen. But nothing works like that in life. When desperation creeps in, life loses all its quote unquote respect for you, if that makes any sense. And so the suffering follows. It's like when I tried to ride a bicycle again after so many years. As a kid, it would be like second nature, but as an adult, fear was preventing me from steering correctly. I was so concerned with not crashing that I kept losing control and would stop before I could even travel a couple of meters. It was so frustrating. I couldn't figure out what it was that I was doing wrong. I literally Googled it, and some random guy on Reddit 7 years ago, Chad, by the way, commented that I was probably gripping the handles too hard. I tried so hard to control it that every time I'd steer left, I'd hard steer right, then I would hard steer left, and so on, and I would eventually lose control. I was too tense. All I needed was to read that comment. I still needed a firm grip, obviously, but not too hard. It was direction. That's the whole thing. The firm grip was there for direction, not control. The instant I loosened my grip, gave the bicycle a chance to breathe, and just give it direction instead of forcing control, I felt like a kid again. The instant I loosened my grip, it was like I was fish in the water, man. I remember all my fear leaving my body because now my adult brain knows that it is fear that creates most problems. When I was calm and confident that I wouldn't crash into someone, I rode the bike perfectly on my very first attempt after reading the Reddit comment. My point is, in telling all this, the moment I let go of my worries, of my fears, of things that don't matter and things that don't even exist, life becomes fun again, just like that bike. Experiences like that is all you need to realize that you have it in you to go back to having fun, riding along with life. So, the moral of this little story is don't grip life out of desperation that you will do something wrong.